In the next position, we'll be lying on our back. We're first going to use the foam roller, very similar to leaning against the wall in a standing position to help warm up the back area. I have about a medium pressure foam roller, but if you have a firmer foam roller, you could get in deep into the muscles. Two things you should keep in mind. I like to start off with the foam roller in my mid-back region. I have a little bit more control, and then I can move up and down the back with that. If I start with my low back, I have to really contract my abdominals right off the bat, and that could stress the low back area. Second thing is I do a chin tuck in order to stabilize my neck so it prevents my head to go backward. If I do that too often, bringing my head backward, I could feel soreness in my neck muscles. So we'll have the foam roller placed on the mat. We'll have it on the mid-back region. I cross my arms, chin tuck, and then I use my legs to propel me to move up and down. So I'm going across the whole back with the foam roller. I could shift my body down so that the foam roller goes between my shoulder blades. And I increase my bridging to add more pressure. And as I shift my body upward, now I get into doing the low back area, contracting my abdominals. Now, if you feel that you're uncomfortable in this position, then you can place one elbow down for support. And you can also rotate your body side to side to have a little bit of extra attention to the sides of the foam roller. Then I can use the foam roller on one side of my body, of my back, using the elbow to prop me up, moving up and down, getting into the QL, the lats, serratus posterior, inferior, and then I can reposition a little bit higher. So I get into between the shoulder blades, so that's where the the rhomboids and the traps are. Now I could replace the foam roller with a can of vegetables for a one-sided foam roll. Again, I use the elbow to help me. And then I reposition. Again, it's not on my spine, it's on one side of my back. Moving in increments up and down, and then you could rotate while the can stays stationary to give that side to side, or actually move side to side to give that cross fiber pressure. And then move between the shoulder blade and the spine in that position. And now we will move to using therapy balls. So we have a soft ball, a hard ball. We'll first use the soft ball on the back of the hip area and the low back, and then we'll move to a hard ball. Just to show the difference, because if you don't have a big therapy ball, you can use a smaller ball using a textbook underneath to prop it up so that you get into those areas. So first, softball. I do bridging, place it on the back of my hip, move side to side, and using my elbows to prop me, I move up and down, side to side. Then I bring it to my low back. Again, I am bridging. Just above the hip bone area, so I could get into the thoracolumbar fascia. moving a little bit off to the side to get into the QL, the erectors, which forms part of the thoracolumbar fascia as well as the lats. So you're getting all those musculatures. And then I bring the softball up higher into the ribs, and then I could get right into where the lats, serratus posterior, inferior, and the outer portion of the erectors attached to the ribs, right in that area there. Now, we'll replace this with the hard ball. First, we'll put a textbook underneath my hips, then have the hard ball on the back of my hip. I bridge a little bit higher, but it gets right into those tissues with this position with very little effort. So this is a great tool to use if you don't have a big therapy ball. So right now I'm on the soft tissue of the hip, and then now I'm going to the low back area, and I can sink in to the tissues just above the hip, moving side to side, again capturing the attachments of the thoracolumbar fascia, which are the lats, erector spinae, getting into the obliques, and also the QL. So this is a great tool to have. I'll continue using the hard ball. So I place the hard ball right next to the spine, so that lamina groove that we talked about in the anatomy. That's where the multifidi, the rotatories, and the inside muscle of the erector spinae are located. Just moving up and down, nice and slow, getting there to sink in, and even moving side to side initially, and then going back and doing up and down to capture that. The cross ball will work very well in here. So I move higher and higher, and then I could get into right between the shoulder blade and the spine, working the rhomboid, the traps, the serratus posterior superior, and I can have my arm out to get right into the inside of the shoulder blade. In that area. Once we get up to this shoulder area here where the upper traps are, it's directly overlapping a muscle called supraspinatus, which is part of the rotator cuff muscles, as well as levator scapula, which attaches to the shoulder blade to the neck area. So you can place the ball here. You're going to bridge high enough so that the pressure goes right into the ball. And then you could move up and down and side to side. So right now I'm capturing the levator scapula as well as upper traps. And if you don't move your body, you could leave it stationary. You could use your arm, so your arm moves your shoulder blade. And then you just move your body a little bit, continue moving your shoulder blade. And now I'm just going to move the ball a little bit out to capture upper trapezius as well as supraspinatus. Do that bridging to get right into those muscles. You're getting into that sticky part right about here. Use the arm as well to maneuver the ball around, but make sure you maintain that bridging to apply that pressure. Now, what you could also do is have two lacrosse balls, two hard balls, or even two golf balls. Place it in a sock, and then wrap the sock around. You could use elastic band to bind them or athletic tape. So what happens is you can use the two balls on either side of the spine, so be on the erector spinae. And the spinous process goes right in between the two balls that way. So I place it on the mat, and then I'll place my mid back on it, move up and down, so it works really well on the erectors. And then I reposition and do the same maneuver. And then I reposition myself lower so I could get right in between the shoulder blades. And bridge. So these are the techniques that you can use while lying on your back. And now we'll move to lying on your side.